hive of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. It's always an incredible place to be in. And it's incredible to actually see that we're choosing the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, which is such a symbolic place to come and to celebrate what industries grow and become. So I'm grateful to be here today with you celebrating once again. I want to just honor those who have joined us today, starting with our honorable guests, and that's the Honorable MEC Lebogang Maile. Welcome. It's been a year. You're still looking good, maybe better than last year, but really honored to have you joining us today. MMC as well, Masugu of COJ, thank you so much for being with us today. MMC Khanso from Mfuleni as well. Mfuleni, thank you so much for joining us. We've got the GGDA Group Chair joining us today as well. It's a hard slog for the amount of work that has to be done and then to still be present at every one of these symbolic milestones, and this is definitely one of them. We also have the MD of Souffle Malt, one of the recipients of the work that's being done. We've got Jeremy Antler joining us. And thanks so much to the CEO of Mahindra as well, Rajesh Gupta. Saw him earlier on. I think he's joined the crew as well today. Thank you so much for being with us. And to all other ambassadors who've joined us today, thank you so much. It really is an honor to see all of you. We have to keep the program really, really tight. And most importantly, remember, we are doing market open at 9 o'clock. I hope you've brought amadlozi wenu and everybody else, because you are going to be a reflection of the numbers today on the JSE and how they fare. So it's really great to see you, and I hope that you're here fully ready for it. But to set the scene for the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, I'd like to welcome on stage Usem Mukhorosi, Head of Originations and Deals, and he's the perfect person because all the work we do and all of you as partners, our collaboration and work, National Anthem, our collaboration and work leads to potentially a few listings. But before we do that, and I think to start off things properly, I've been requested to start with the National Anthem. So do we have our lady representatives for the National Anthem? And we don't, I'll take us off. Perhaps you want to just stand in honor. Nkosi sikeleli Afrika, maluphakanyisa uphondo lwayo, izwa imithandazo yethu. Nkosi sikelela thina usapho lwayo, murena buluka sitshaba sa Yesu, ufedise dintwali matwenyeho, usibuluke sibuluke sitshaba sa Yesu, sitshaba sa South Africa, South Africa. Edi blofa non seyem, edi diepte van ons siem. Waar ons eeuwige gebed is, waar die kranse antwoord gee, comes the call to come together, and united we shall stand. Let us live and fight for freedom in South Africa, our land. Sam, you're welcome on stage.
Thank you, Zanele. Thank you, MEC, welcome back. Distinguished dignitaries, welcome back. I'm going to borrow that saying, all protocol observed. It is really a pleasure to welcome you to the launch of the 2026 Gauteng Investment Conference, or the GIC, once again, hosted at the home of South Africa's capital markets, the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. When we gathered for the inaugural GIC in 2025, our aim was clear, which is to establish Gauteng as a premier investment destination and to create mechanisms that channel investor interests into projects that drive real socio-economic progress. At our first convening, we mobilized 312.5 billion rand in commitments, an extraordinary signal of confidence in Gauteng's potential. MEC, I don't know if they told you, but the louder you blow the kudu horn at 9 o'clock, the higher those commitments are going to be this year. So I hope you practiced and those lungs are ready. But fear not, we will support you. We will all cheer as loud as we can come 9 o'clock. More importantly, it also forged the partnerships and conversations and momentum that have brought us back here today. And over the last year, we've witnessed encouraging shifts in South Africa's investment landscape. With inflation easing, interest rates turning, global funds having begun to re-engage with emerging markets, which has widened the pool of potential investment for South Africa. South Africa's exit from the FATF grey list, followed by a sovereign credit rating upgrade, has reduced the perceived risk and reaffirmed confidence in the integrity of our financial system and the direction of our policy. The markets have reflected this renewed optimism, with the FTSE JSE All-Share Index having surpassed 100,000 points and closed at record highs last year. The JSE's market cap exceeded 24 trillion rand, and foreign participation has increased, with average daily equity volumes growing, and we welcomed 5 new IPOs with a healthy listing pipeline for 2026. This momentum has carried into the new year, with volumes remaining strong and interest from global liquidity providers, long-only investors, and high-frequency traders continuing to rise. For Gauteng and for the GIC, these trends matter. They reinforce the message that confidence is returning, and not abstractly, but in measurable ways that shape investment decisions, capital allocation, and long-term growth prospects. So the question before us now is, how do we sustain and accelerate this momentum? We do so by providing deep liquidity pools, access to capital, and a robust regulatory framework as the JSE. We aim to play our part in not only attracting investment to Gauteng, but also supporting the sustainable development of our regional economy. We've already begun making significant progress in this area by promoting inward listings through robust and tailored regulatory framework. Our innovative products, such as actively managed ETFs, actively managed certificates, Co-location 2.0, serve further to support this effort. So, additionally, our voluntary carbon market, which issued its first carbon credit late last year, underscored our shared belief that the economic development should go hand in hand with social and environmental responsibility. So our commitment to driving South Africa's investment opportunities also extends beyond our borders. Through various national and international conferences, such as SA Tomorrow and Macroeconomic Conference in the UK, we actively engage with global investors, showcasing the myriads of opportunities that South Africa has to offer. We've also, as we launch the second Gauteng Investment Conference, we look forward to the conversations, the partnerships, and most importantly, the impact that will flow from what begins today. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic day further.
As of yesterday, the 2nd of April 2025, we have surpassed the target that we set for ourselves. And I think that is around We have managed to secure pledges with an investment value of 312.5 billion. This is 12.5 billion more than our initial target.
It's a big opportunity area for us. It's our second biggest contributor to manufacturing after the automotive industry, and a real growth sector for us.
We are humbled and we are very happy. Business has demonstrated confidence, and this is both local and international businesses.
And it is a year later. Can you believe it? It went by so fast, but we are here for it. And having worked for various government institutions, and I see colleagues and I see my leaders in the room, I think of the purpose that makes you wake up every single morning to know that you're playing such an intricate part in the development of South Africa's economy. And for those who wake up and think of the least of us and how important it is that we continue to grow industry, it is only fitting that we have the first scene setter for the work that's being done, to have it as MMC Loyiso Masuku. Ma'am, please join us.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Honorable MEC Lebogang Maile, the Chairperson of the GGDA, my colleagues, fellow MMCs from the various municipalities, the leadership of the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, investors and partners, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. A very good morning, and thank you for this opportunity. And from us as the City of Joburg, this launch takes place at a critical moment for both our country and, of course, our city. We all know that, like many economies globally, we're all navigating challenging macroeconomic environments, slow growth, rising unemployment, constrained public finances, and increasing pressure on infrastructure systems that underpin economic activity. Cities sit at the front line of these pressures. Johannesburg, as the economic heart of the country, feels them most acutely. But we also recognize that cities are where recovery begins. When Johannesburg works and grows, South Africa works and grows. It is for this reason that President Cyril Ramaphosa convened the Presidential Johannesburg Working Group in 2025, which was a landmark intervention bringing together both national and provincial government in the sphere of local government to work and support the city's financial recovery, infrastructure investment, and structural reform agenda. This partnership has strengthened intergovernmental coordination, unlocking technical and financial support, and signaled to investors that Johannesburg's recovery is indeed a national priority. Johannesburg hosted the G20 summit in 2025, and this is both a vote of confidence and a powerful catalyst. It is an opportunity to accelerate reforms, strengthen infrastructure, and showcase the cities as a competitive global investment destination. We do have significant infrastructure backlogs across electricity, water, roads, and waste services, and the city requires 100 billion to refurbish, replace, and expand core infrastructure. However, the narrative is shifting from decline to delivery. Capital expenditure has recovered dramatically from 70% spending in the 2019-2020 to 99% in the 2024-2025 financial year. This is a demonstration of a renewed institutional capability to plan and implement major projects. We are strengthening the full infrastructure asset investment chain, we're improving our asset registers, and we are unlocking growth and sustainability. Water security and waste management are among the most urgent priorities for both residents and investors. And MEC, I must say that through public partnerships pipeline supported by National Treasury, the city is advancing very well in projects including the wastewater treatment in Lanzeria, which is going to help us unlock development, the non-revenue water performance-based contracts, which will help us reduce losses and improve our billing efficiency, as well as the modernization of the fresh produce market, which is our key economic hub, with our sales exceeding 1 billion. So these initiatives reflect a deliberate shift towards partnership-driven infrastructure delivery and sustainable resources. And when you look at our, we were reaffirmed recently with a stable outlook reflecting confidence in the city's governance and financial pipeline transparency. Our loan book stands at 22.8 billion, representing a debt-to-revenue ratio of 29%, which is well below the National Treasury benchmark of 45%. So the city is working towards ensuring that we are at a stable space. Johannesburg's infrastructure challenges are large, but I think the opportunity is actually even greater. Through intergovernmental collaboration, we are going to succeed collectively. And MEC, I think I speak for all my colleagues as I conclude when I take this opportunity to say and appreciate your work in terms of the intergovernmental relations and the support that you give to different municipalities. Because if the province is not at the center of coordinating municipalities, then we will not be making these landmark strides that we are actually making. So we thank you for your leadership and we appreciate all the support that you're giving to us. This investment conference in itself, as a launch in Johannesburg, sends a clear message. Johannesburg is reforming. Johannesburg is ready for investment and open for business. I thank you very much.
And I do wish you could put those numbers up for them to be visible all the time, because we sometimes lose sight of the fact that we are making progress. And these are truly challenging times. Living right here in the city of Joburg, I can tell you, it can be challenging. But perspective also tells me that the challenges have major gaps of wins between them. So we tend to focus when times are really tough. But I can tell you from the last time I met you to this time, I probably have had my first any infrastructural challenge in the environment that I live in, and I live in one that's quite prone to them. So it's a pity that we do look at the difficulties and we feel them so deeply, but the numbers should say something. The measurements should say something. And unfortunately, you say it, but it doesn't retain with us. So may you get more opportunities to actually talk about the impact and the changes we are actually making. We do want to also have a look at winding back to 2026. We have a number of companies coming through and making pledges, and institutions making pledges. How about we hear from one of the pledge owners, Jeremy Anta, the MD of Souffle, Met 2026, 2025. He came through, made his investment. Take us through the journey. Where are we now, only a year later? If I could invite you on stage, please.
Good morning, representative of the government, distinguished guests, partners, and members of the investment community. It has a special taste for me to be here today because 25 years ago, I was starting my career as a FX trader for a French bank in Paris, just behind the Palais Brongniart, the historic Paris Stock Exchange. So standing here today in a finance arena, like the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, is quite special for me. It brings back vivid memories of where my professional journey started more than 2 decades ago. But today we are not here to speak about the strong South African rand, or even less about the reasons behind the weakness of the US dollar. No, today we're here to speak about long-term industrial investments and about building value where it belongs, here locally. South Africa has one of the most dynamic brewing markets on the continent. As that market continues to grow and evolve, it requires resilient, competitive, and locally anchored supply chains. That is where we come in. Souffle Malt is investing 2 billion rand in a new state-of-the-art malt house in Gauteng. The facility will create 55 permanent jobs and support between 200 and 300 indirect jobs across agriculture, logistics, and services. From commissioning, it will source 100% of its barley locally and replace approximately 4,700 imported containers annually. We are also bringing best-in-class technology, including 3-generation energy systems and advanced process optimization, delivering around 50% lower emissions than the industry standards. This is not just additional capacity, it is making the local value chain stronger. At Souffle Malt, we operate in 20 countries with about 3,700,000 tons of malting capacity. Our strategy is called Multiply 2030. It is very simple. Leverage global expertise and apply it locally to build competitive and sustainable ecosystems. But we do that with humility and adaptability, respecting local realities, local partners, and local ways of working. It is a global expertise powered by local execution. Malting barley has existed in South Africa for many decades. The crop and the expertise are here. Over the past 8 years, we are focused on reinforcing and scaling that capability, aligning agriculture production with industrial standards and long-term commercial commitments. From commissioning in 2027, we expect to work with around 200 farmers across South Africa, including a growing base here in Gauteng. The progress has been built in close collaboration with our commercial partners, Heineken Beverages, whose long-term industrial presence in Gauteng reinforce the strength and stability of this ecosystem. And this ecosystem is not only about production, it is also about inclusion at every level. Our ownership structure will incorporate meaningful empowerment participation aligned with South Africa's transformation objectives. Our workforce strategy prioritizes local employment, skill transfer, and technical training. And our supplier model actively develops local and emerging enterprises, ensuring that value creation is shared across the chain. Because localization without inclusion is incomplete. Gauteng is strategically positioned close to our main customer and supported by strong industrial infrastructure. From the beginning, the Gauteng Growth and Development Agency has been a key partner. GGDA helped align stakeholders, facilitate financing discussions, and coordinate across municipal, provincial, and national levels. They acted as a true one-stop shop, reducing friction and accelerating alignment. When considering an investment of this scale, having an institution capable of connecting public structures and fostering long-term industrial development makes a real difference. Today marked the launch of a platform aimed at accelerating investment in Gauteng. Our malt house demonstrates that investment like this is not a single event. It is a sequence. And when you partner with governments and the correct stakeholders, this sequence can be accelerated for maximum impact. We are here to build on this sequence, and create a value chain that will serve South Africa's brewing industry and its agriculture sector for decades to come. That is the kind of investment that we believe in, and that is the kind of partnership we are proud to build here in Gauteng. Thank you very much.
I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a bit of a vibration underneath the floor. It's buzzing because we're about to go live. It's 9 o'clock. James, do you want to come up and lead the way so the market starts on time?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is James Rakumako, and I'm part of the trading team that's primarily responsible for managing the trading systems here at the JSE, which, as you saw in the video, there are just a couple of floors underneath us. And I'm also looking at the time, so probably around 1 minute mark, I'm going to call some of our guests on stage so we can just get ready for the market countdown. So the board here we're looking at is the market data front end, and we're specifically looking at the equities market. Right at the top there above where it says Aussie Active, that's the equity markets ticker. So the moment we go into continuous trading at 9 o'clock, you will start seeing all the trades filtering through the market as we transition into continuous trading. At the moment, we're just displaying the JSE security or JSE share. Clients or traders themselves identify the security by its 3 alpha code name, with the description also giving you the full name of the share. I'm just going to pause right here because literally the market waits for no one. So I think I need to invite some of our guests here on stage so we can prepare for the countdown. I think we need more participants. And please, just keep note, the louder the noise we make, the more pledges we're going to get this year. Let's keep that in mind. Cool. And our audience, please join us when we count down from the 10-second mark. And please make a huge noise when we get to the market open. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me hand over back to Zanele. I think we are going to do a trophy presentation, and good luck with the rest of the morning. Oh, I should do it.
This is the second one this year. Please come and change. I'm sure there are a number of trophies already on your mantle. I hope you are proudest of the JSE ones. I'm not getting a nod. Okay. Definitely beautiful trophies. And I was hoping that Ulela Fourie would come down and join us. She might still come a little bit later. She really sends her greetings. She's currently held up in EXCO meetings, but she is trying to find a moment just to come and greet everybody. But now let's move on to really reflecting on the year 2025, when this actually started. I mean, to set the goal of starting over 60 projects, to set the goal of having 91,500 jobs created, to contribute over 530 billion to contribute to the GDP is no small feat whatsoever. But I'd love for you, please, to join us, MEC, and take us through what it has meant and what the ambition is for 2026.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Ms. Zanele Morrison, and we also like to acknowledge the head of origination and deals here at JSE, Mr. Sam Mukorosi. We acknowledge the MMC for Finance in the city of Johannesburg, MMC Masuku. Other MMCs, MMCs from Tshwane and Mfuleni and all others that I have not seen. The chairperson of the Growth and Development Agency, Mr. Cornish, the MD of Softfield Malt, Mr. Jeremy Antia, the senior managers of government who are present with us here today, business leaders, industry leaders, representatives of development finance institutions, distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning. Absheni, Dumelang, Sanbonani, Huemore. It is profoundly symbolic that we gather here today at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, as it represents the power of investment. Mr. Mukorosi was giving us a market cap. I had a figure of the 24 trillion, huge. So the JSE represents the power of investment, a platform that enables businesses to access capital to expand, generate employment opportunities, and fortify Gauteng's economy. It is the embodiment of accountable investment, guaranteeing that each financial decision promotes transparency, trust, and significant growth for the residents of our province. So I thought you were going to speak about the resignation of the chair of the, what is the, Mr. Motsepe's company, because there were speculations. And the real reason was the rules that you have introduced. So I thought you were going to put the record straight, because people are already speculating that maybe he's going to be contesting for political office. But anyway, so therefore, it is appropriate that we launch the Road to the Gauteng Investment Conference 2026 from this platform, which is right at the heart of South Africa's financial system, the very place where money flows, businesses thrive, and Gauteng's economic future is being shaped. When we hosted the first Gauteng Investment Conference on the 3rd of April 2025, our goal was simple: to show that Gauteng is a serious, action-driven destination for investment. The Gauteng Investment Conference 2025 had a significant impact, as over 1,800 people participated and 312.5 billion in investment pledges were secured, which demonstrated Gauteng's ability to attract investment and build trust with investors. One of the biggest outcomes was the wide range of commitments across sectors that matter to our province, from agro-processing and transport, infrastructure to property development and aviation. We expect these pledges to collectively support over 114,000 jobs and create significant economic opportunities for the people. A standout example is the continued growth of the OR Tambo International Airport Precinct, which is becoming a hub for manufacturing, logistics, and inclusive growth in our region. Therefore, we must consider not only the pledges made, but also the actual delivery. I am pleased to report that we have moved decisively from pledges to projects. As of this month, 28% of the pledges secured in 2025 have already been converted into active implementation. 17 out of 60 projects are in rollout, and this translates to 73 billion that has been unlocked for the real economy. I think that deserves a round of applause. The MD of Soulful Malt was speaking about their projects. Was there one of the companies that has already converted their pledges into real projects? And this conversion rate is central to our credibility, as it demonstrates that Gauteng does not treat investment mobilization as an event-driven exercise, but rather as a continuous life cycle from origination and structuring to facilitation and delivery. The Gauteng Investment Conference serves as a catalyst, not an additional initiative, as it is a platform that integrates project preparation, investor engagement, intergovernmental coordination, and capital mobilization across our strategic pillars. It achieves this by bringing visibility, structure, and accountability to the provincial investment pipeline. In doing so, the Gauteng Investment Conference accelerates delivery and converts intent into implementation, as it translates strategy into bankable projects, aligns provincial ambition with investor expectations, and ensures that economic policy matches execution. This approach strongly reinforces the objectives and ambitions of the Gauteng Economic Development Plan, which emphasizes inclusive growth, industrial expansion, infrastructure acceleration, job creation, and long-term competitiveness. Our commitment to job creation, SMME growth, and inclusive participation mirrors our investment criteria, which prioritizes township revitalization, youth employment, and local enterprise development. Equally, the emphasis on safety, governance, and institutional reform strengthens the enabling environment across Gauteng cities and industrial nodes. For this reason, the Gauteng Investment Conference is more than a symbolic gathering. It is a strategic intervention. It is our response to low capital formation. It is a platform to accelerate project preparation and encourage private investment. It is an instrument to strengthen intergovernmental coordination and reduce fragmentation in the investment environment. Importantly, we are not presenting concepts. We are presenting structured, bankable projects from all three spheres of government, and these include the Gauteng Rapid Rail Integrated Network expansions, which connects underserved communities to major economic nodes, the Erythropolis around OR Tambo International Airport, positioning Gauteng as a continental logistics and manufacturing hub, the expansion of the West Rand SEZ, and the proposed Val SEZ, focused on steel revitalization, green hydrogen, and advanced manufacturing. These are catalytic projects aligned to corridor-based development and industrial clustering. Feasibility studies, regulatory alignment, and institutional backing support these initiatives. As we now prepare for the Gauteng Investment Conference 2026, we are elevating the model. Our goal is to fortify Gauteng's standing as the top subnational investment destination in Africa, a status characterized by its credibility, project preparedness, and execution discipline. We aim to secure 200 billion in new investment commitments. This target is not aspirational. It is pipeline-backed and supported by structured engagement with investors, DFIs, and sector leaders. We seek to showcase high-growth sectors that align with global and continental trends, including advanced manufacturing, renewable energy, electric vehicle value chains, digital infrastructure logistics, agro-processing, green hydrogen, and financial services, to strengthen collaboration with both local and international partners. The Gauteng Investment Conference 2026 will bring together African governments, subnational leaders, global investors, development finance institutions, and private sector stakeholders in curated deal rooms and structured policy dialogues. To improve intergovernmental cooperation by integrating national and provincial investors needs to experience a coherent and aligned government framework. To intensify our focus on converting pledges into tangible projects by facilitating approvals, structuring blended finance, streamlining regulations, and providing active aftercare, and promoting sustainable and inclusive investment projects that create employment opportunities and bolster township economies, advance industrial transformation, and incorporate climate resilience into developmental planning. In short, the Gauteng Investment Conference 2026 aims to strengthen the entire investment life cycle, building on the momentum of 2025. We are institutionalizing marketing, origination, facilitation, and delivery. We are aligning with AFTA and Agenda 2063 to deepen Pan-African value chains. We are building on engagements in Davos, Switzerland, Italy, and the mining indaba to convert diplomatic relations into structured pipelines. We are also placing municipalities at the center of this model. Urban planning, infrastructure approvals, and spatial coordination largely sit at local level. For investment to flow at scale, municipalities must therefore be active partners in project preparation and execution. Ladies and gentlemen, in 2025, we demonstrate that Gauteng can mobilize capital, and in 2026, we are showing that Gauteng can convert capital into projects, jobs leading to growth of the economy. To the investors gathered here today, we are presenting structured opportunities, bankable projects, aligned policy frameworks, intergovernmental coordination, and active facilitation. To municipalities, align your catalytic projects and accelerate approvals. To development finance institutions and banks, mobilize private capital and support blended finance to reduce risks, and to the private sector, partner with government as a core investor in long-term industrial growth and not just as contractors. In 2026, Gauteng Investment Conference will further demonstrate that capital mobilization can be a permanent, structured part of how we drive economic development in our province and across the country. With the conference less than 80 days away, we extend a formal invitation to all stakeholders, investors, partners, business leaders, municipalities, DFIs, and continental counterparts contribute to African value chains and to assist to ensuring that Gauteng continues to lead as the continent's most advanced and investment, and the coordination mechanisms are in place. Together we're moving, turning commitments into tangible impacts for
Gauteng is more than just a province. It's a strategic
a very supportive business environment for our companies as owner from foreign companies to grow in South Africa.
Gauteng is essentially the hub. When we set up our business, in order to get the right economy of scale, to be able to produce for all those suppliers, it was important to have a well-positioned hub. So we're very close to our biggest customer, Ford Motor Company, as well as BMW and Nissan. So that was, in essence, the reason for the company being founded here.
Within this 100 million